The world was spiraling into chaos, and it all started with two men who couldn't be more different, yet equally unrelenting. Elon Musk, the enigmatic billionaire visionary, and Donald Trump, the polarizing former president turned media titan. Their feud had gone from whispers in the corridors of power to a full-blown global spectacle, dragging governments, corporations, and millions of ordinary people into its gravitational pull. But as their war of egos escalated, something far more sinister was unfolding, something neither man could have anticipated. It began innocuously enough, with Trump taking aim at Musk during one of his rallies. "Elon Musk is a fraud," he bellowed to a roaring crowd. "His companies survive on government handouts, and I'm going to put an end to it. Billions and billions of taxpayer dollars wasted on rockets that explode and cars that drive themselves into walls." Musk, never one to back down, fired back on X, his social media platform. "Trump is a relic of the past, clinging to outdated ideas while the rest of us are building the future. If he wants a fight, I'll give him one." The internet exploded. Memes, hashtags, and conspiracy theories flooded every corner of the digital landscape. Cable news networks ran 24/7 coverage of the feud, dissecting every tweet, every insult, every veiled threat. But behind the scenes, the stakes were far higher than anyone realized. Far above Earth, in the cold vacuum of space, an alien race known as the Virelians watched with growing interest. The Virelians were not conquerors in the traditional sense. They were opportunists, scavengers who thrived on exploiting fractured civilizations. For centuries, they had observed humanity, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And now, with Musk and Trump tearing each other apart, that moment had arrived. The Virelians were masters of manipulation, capable of infiltrating digital systems and sowing discord with surgical precision. They didn't need to invade Earth with fleets of warships. They could dismantle it from within, using humanity's own technology against them. And thanks to Musk's advancements in AI, satellite networks, and autonomous systems, the tools they needed were already in place. Their first move was subtle. SpaceX satellites began experiencing minor malfunctions, glitches that disrupted communications and GPS signals, but were easily dismissed as technical errors. Then Tesla vehicles started behaving erratically, with some cars refusing to start, while others accelerated uncontrollably. Neuralink users reported strange auditory hallucinations, whispers in a language no one could understand. Musk's engineers worked tirelessly to resolve the issues, but the problems only grew worse. Meanwhile, Trump seized the opportunity to escalate his attacks. At a press conference, he declared, "Elon Musk's technology is a danger to America. His reckless ambitions are putting lives at risk, and it's time we shut him down." He announced an executive order to terminate all federal contracts with SpaceX and Tesla, effectively cutting off billions in funding. Musk responded with characteristic defiance. "If Trump wants to sabotage humanity's future, that's on him," he said in a live-streamed address. "But I won't let his short-sightedness derail our progress. We're building the next chapter of human civilization, whether he likes it or not." The feud reached a boiling point when a SpaceX Starship exploded during a high-profile launch, killing 3 astronauts and injuring dozens of engineers. The tragedy sent shockwaves through the global community, with many blaming Musk for prioritizing speed over safety. But Musk knew better. This wasn't human error. It was sabotage. In a secret underground bunker in Austin, Texas, Musk convened a meeting with his most trusted advisors. The room was filled with holographic displays, streaming data from SpaceX, Tesla, and Neuralink servers. At the center of it all was Sarah Kim, a brilliant AI specialist who had been working with Musk for years. "We've analyzed the anomalies," Sarah said, her voice steady but urgent. "They're not random glitches. Someone or something is targeting our systems." Musk leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. "Who?" Sarah hesitated. "We don't know, but the patterns suggest an intelligence far beyond anything we've encountered before. It's almost alien." The word hung in the air like a thunderclap. Musk didn't flinch. "If it's aliens, then we need to find out what they want and stop them." While Musk prepared for battle, Trump doubled down on his attacks. At a rally in Florida, he unveiled a new initiative to develop a government-controlled satellite network, effectively sidelining SpaceX. "We don't need Elon Musk," he declared. "America can stand on its own." But even as he spoke, the Virelians were tightening their grip. Using advanced cloaking technology, they infiltrated SpaceX's main facility in Boca Chica, Texas. Their goal was simple: seize control of Musk's AI systems and turn them into weapons. By the time the first alarms went off, it was already too late. The Virelians had hacked into SpaceX's central servers, gaining access to everything from satellite networks to rocket blueprints. Musk received the call while he was en route to Washington, D.C. for a meeting with Pentagon officials. His chief security officer's voice was trembling as he explained the situation. Musk didn't panic. He never panicked. Instead, he activated Protocol Phoenix, a contingency plan designed to cut off all external access to SpaceX systems. But the damage was done. The Virelians had what they needed. As news of the breach spread, Trump wasted no time capitalizing on the chaos. He held an emergency press conference, accusing Musk of negligence and calling for a full investigation into his companies. "This is what happens when you put your faith in a billionaire who thinks he's smarter than everyone else," and Trump said. "We need real leadership, not science fiction fantasies." But Musk wasn't about to let Trump dictate the narrative. In a televised address, he revealed the truth. Earth was under attack by an extraterrestrial force. "This isn't just about me or my companies," he said. "This is about the survival of our species. We must unite to face this threat, or we will perish." The announcement sent shockwaves around the world. Some dismissed it as a desperate attempt to deflect blame, while others saw it as a wake-up call. In the halls of power, debates raged over how to respond. But amidst the chaos, one thing became clear: humanity was running out of time. The final showdown took place in Earth's orbit, where the Virelians had established a hidden base disguised as a cluster of asteroids. Musk and a team of engineers worked around the clock to retrofit a SpaceX Starship with experimental weaponry, including EMP devices and plasma cannons. Meanwhile, Trump reluctantly authorized a joint military operation to support Musk's mission. The battle was unlike anything humanity had ever faced. The Virelian ships moved with impossible speed, their energy weapons slicing through Earth's defenses like a hot knife through butter. But Musk's team fought back with ingenuity and determination, using the Starship's advanced AI to outmaneuver the enemy. In the end, it was a Neuralink-enhanced strategy that turned the tide. Sarah Kim, connected directly to the Starship's systems, devised a plan to overload the Virelians' energy cores. The maneuver was risky, but it worked. One by one, the alien ships exploded, their fragments burning up in Earth's atmosphere. As the dust settled, Musk and Trump stood side by side at a press conference, announcing humanity's victory. For a brief moment, it seemed like their rivalry had been replaced by mutual respect. But as the cameras flashed, Trump couldn't resist taking a jab. "Let's be clear," he said with a smirk. "I saved the world. Elon just built the toys." Musk rolled his eyes but said nothing. He knew the real battle was far from over. The Virelians had been defeated, but they weren't the only threat lurking in the cosmos. Humanity had entered a new era, one where the line between ally and enemy was constantly shifting. And in this uncertain future, one thing was certain: the clash between Musk and Trump was only the beginning. The victory against the Virelians was short-lived. Humanity had survived, but the scars of the battle were visible everywhere. Shattered satellites littered Earth's orbit, global communications networks were in disarray, and trust in both Musk and Trump had reached an all-time low. The world was left shaken, not just by the alien threat, but by the realization that humanity's greatest vulnerabilities weren't extraterrestrial, they were internal. In the weeks following the battle, Musk threw himself into rebuilding. SpaceX engineers worked around the clock to repair damaged satellites and restore Starlink's global network. Tesla factories ramped up production of emergency energy grids to stabilize cities that had been plunged into darkness during the Virelian attacks. Neuralink announced a temporary suspension of its brain-computer interface programs to investigate potential vulnerabilities. Musk publicly vowed to ensure that Earth would never again be caught off guard, but privately he was haunted. He couldn't shake the feeling that the Virelians' retreat wasn't a defeat. It was a tactical withdrawal. They had learned from their encounter with humanity, and they would return stronger, smarter, and more prepared. Musk knew he had to think ahead, to prepare for threats humanity couldn't yet imagine. And for that, he needed resources, allies, and time. Three things that were rapidly slipping away. Meanwhile, Trump was riding high on the wave of post-battle nationalism. His approval ratings soared as he framed himself as the leader who had saved the planet. At rallies across the country, he boasted about his role in defeating the aliens, conveniently downplaying Musk's contributions. "I told Elon what to do," he declared to thunderous applause. "Without me, there wouldn't even be a SpaceX." But behind closed doors, Trump was seething. The battle had exposed weaknesses in America's defenses, and he blamed Musk for creating technologies that could be exploited by enemies, human or otherwise. In a series of late-night meetings with his closest advisors, Trump outlined a plan to bring Musk under government control. If SpaceX, Tesla, and Neuralink were nationalized, Trump reasoned, their resources could be used exclusively for America's benefit. It didn't take long for Musk to catch wind of Trump's intentions. Through his vast network of contacts, he learned that legislation was already being drafted to seize control of his companies under the guise of national security. It was a move that would cripple Musk's ability to innovate and effectively hand over the keys to humanity's future to politicians. Musk's response was swift and calculated. In a cryptic tweet, he wrote, "The future of humanity cannot be dictated by politics. It must be earned through innovation and unity. Mars awaits." The tweet sent shockwaves through the media. Was Musk planning to leave Earth entirely? Was he abandoning the planet he had fought so hard to protect? Speculation ran wild, but Musk remained tight-lipped. Behind the scenes, however, he was preparing for something unprecedented. Deep in the Nevada desert, at a secret SpaceX facility known only to a handful of people, Musk unveiled Project Exodus. The initiative was nothing less than a backup plan for humanity, a fleet of advanced starships capable of carrying thousands of people to Mars and beyond. Unlike previous missions, these ships were equipped with experimental warp drives powered by technology reverse-engineered from the Virelians' wreckage. Sarah Kim, now Musk's closest confidant, was skeptical. "Elon, this is insane," she said, as they stood in the cavernous hangar where the first Exodus ship was being assembled. "You're talking about abandoning Earth. People are going to see this as you giving up." "I'm not giving up," Musk replied, his voice resolute. "I'm hedging our bets. Earth will always be home, but we can't put all our eggs in one basket. The Virelians will come back, Sarah. And when they do, we need to be ready. Not just here, but out there." Sarah sighed. She knew he was right, but the scale of the project was staggering. Building a self-sustaining colony on Mars was one thing. Preparing for interstellar travel was another entirely. But if anyone could pull it off, it was Musk. Trump, however, saw Project Exodus as a direct challenge to his authority. At a rally in Texas, he accused Musk of plotting to abandon America. "Elon Musk doesn't care about you," he shouted to the crowd. "He's building rockets to run away while the rest of us stay here and fight." "Well, I've got news for him. No one leaves this planet without my permission." The statement sparked outrage and fear. Protesters gathered outside SpaceX facilities, demanding answers. Conspiracy theories spread like wildfire, claiming that Musk was building a private army or even collaborating with the Virelians. Musk's public image, already battered, took another hit. But Musk wasn't fazed. He knew the truth would come out eventually, and when it did, people would understand why he had taken such drastic measures. For now, he focused on the task at hand, completing the first Exodus ship before Trump could shut him down. As tensions between Musk and Trump reached a breaking point, the Virelians made their next move. Using the data they had stolen during their initial attack, they began infiltrating Earth's power grids, financial systems, and military networks.